You don't get to witness the birth of a brand new industry every day. But in the last few years, we've seen something extraordinary, the creation of a totally new kind of business that has nothing to do with Silicon Valley. I'm talking about the liquefied natural gas export space. 2 years ago, Cheniere Energy started its first liquefied natural gas, or LNG, shipments. This year, Dominion Energy opened their own facility, and there's more in development, including from Tellurian. That's the company founded by Charif Souki. He's the guy who pretty much invented this business, and he was running Cheniere, and when it all got started, I think he's the father of what may turn out to be the greatest export boom in our nation's history. I'm not kidding. These projects require a massive amount of infrastructure. They take years to build, but the demand for them is off the charts. As I said many times, the United States is overflowing with cheap natural gas, and the rest of the world is desperate to get its hands on it. And that's why Charif's company is building its own LNG terminals while also investing in natural gas pipelines and even production. Now, lately, the people are worried about whether the Chinese are going to refuse to take the natural gas. You know what? I don't care. I want to speak to Charif Souki. He is going to tell us what the real story is. Charif, come on in.
Jim.
All right.
Good to see you again.
You are co-founder. You're chairman now of Tellurian. You're not the CEO, but that doesn't matter because you're the man who knows more about this industry. And I'm going to ask you point blank, if the Chinese say no to our LNG, what does it mean? Does that mean you will not be able to build? Does that mean this industry is over?
They cannot say no. It's a commodity. And the molecules don't come with a print on them that says made in America. So it's very simple to put them on the market, and then it will go wherever the price is. If they impose tariffs on American gas, all it means is that we'll receive different gas, and it will just be substituted.
So why?
It's not a big deal.
No, you see, because I've read a half dozen articles that have told me that your industry's dead.
No.
Well, how can
we have the cheapest gas in the world, and as you pointed out, the rest of the world needs it in a variety of different ways. The trick is to make sure that we keep it affordable and attractively priced for the rest of the world.
Okay, this new business model you have, you're buying a lot of acreage because you think natural gas has come down a great deal. You have told me that we flare more natural gas than we use, that this is an exceptional time to get in your business, but you are also offering huge stakes to companies. Big money that they have to put in. Any takers?
Plenty.
Really?
Yes.
Even though this is a 5-year process?
It's extremely simple. If you propose an attractive business proposition, people will take it. There is no shortage of capital on a global basis. There is no shortage of capital in the United States.
But explain to people how much this is. This is not a billion-dollar project.
Well, but remember, at Cheniere, we raised $30 billion, and when we started the process, we were almost bankrupt. This time we're
but you ended up making a fortune for everybody.
Yes, but this time we're starting ahead. At least we don't have any debt looming in the next 2 or 3 years.
Now, the project you have is gigantic, the number of trains, as we call them. You are doing something that's far more ambitious than you did at Cheniere.
No, it's exactly the same. This
really?
is pretty much going to be the same.
But phase one is gigantic.
Yes.
Charif, phase one is huge.
16 million tons.
And how much does that cost?
And what we did at Sabine Pass was 21 million tons. So put it in perspective. It's not so hard. We've done it before.
Now, when you talk about, you're saying Tellurian plans to have its Driftwood Holdings, more than that, acquire 5 trillion cubic feet of natural gas reserves for phase one. You're acquiring it.
Yes.
You're not leasing it. You're actually, so what are you doing? Are you buying up as we speak? Are you buying up properties all over the Southeast?
Not yet. We've looked at everything that there is. There is no huge rush for us. At the moment, if you had your choice, the pipelines are more important than owning the reserves, because you can go to the Permian Basin and pick up gas. You know an incredible number right now?
No.
We are now flaring 300 million a day in the Permian Basin.
That's like enough to power how much of Europe?
It's a pretty significant piece, and it puts us at risk of becoming one of the world's largest flares of natural gas on a global basis.
Well, which is terrible pollution. We need your plant. Why are we not going to the Germans and saying, okay, stop it with Gazprom. We have got the natural gas. You stopped those contracts in 2023. We've got it, and you're going to use our natural gas. What, does the president not understand that?
No, they understand it very well, and I think 2 of his cabinet members, including your old buddy Larry Kudlow,
He likes the show.
Have actually both, him and Steve Mnuchin have both said, we are prepared to sell natural gas, LNG, to Europe.
Do they speak to you?
No.
Why not?
Because this is America. I'm a businessman. I'm not a politician. I will sell my gas to the people who pay me the most for it.
Okay, so when you started this, there was no market for this. Now there's an actual spot market that you can sell into.
I think, yes. When we started Cheniere, the business was mostly point-to-point. And what we did at Cheniere is allow the spot market to start developing pretty significantly.
Right.
And now the spot market is becoming very important. So the natural gas is becoming like other commodities. It is traded on natural gas prices on a global basis.
One last question. Many of the people that I speak to say there are way too many projects on the drawing board and it's going to come to naught.
Well, you know, every project is not the same. We've been very deliberate about developing our project very carefully and making sure we understand our costs and we understand our opportunities. We're on schedule. We are going to be finished with our program by the end of the year. But this was, you have to make sure your costs are right. You have to work with people you trust, like Bechtel and GE. You have to put all the pieces in place. You have to hire the right people to do it. We now have 165 people working at Tellurian. We're a startup. And most of these people come from either Cheniere or BG. They used to work either with me or with my partner, Martin Houston. So we have a lot of experience.
This man sat here when when his old company stock was at $8. It's probably the greatest hit that we've ever had, other than Salesforce and Regeneron. This man, Charif Souki, co-founder and chairman of Tellurian. Now, just so you know, Tellurian is publicly traded, okay? It wasn't the first time we saw him, TELL. Man, money's back there for you, right?